just when I think you couldn't possibly be any dumber, you go and do something like this. And totally redeem yourself!
Happy Monday, gardeners. Welcome to the Green Room. We've got a great show planned for you all. But first, I have to replenish my buckets with water and nutrients. Let's go.
The garden is thriving and I'm finally starting to see some fruit. Since I grow aeroponically, it is imperative that I add in the correct nutrients based on the plant's growth stage. My system's reservoirs are quite small, so I start off by adding 4 gallons of reverse osmosis water. Try to keep the water temperature no higher or lower than 68 degrees Fahrenheit, which can often be a challenge. Once the water's in, I add my CalMag. I'm currently using a 3-part nutrients, and depending on the growth stage of your plants will determine the ratios. Everything is currently flowering and fruiting, so I am using the ratio that is appropriate for bloom and ripening. Because I'm using synthetic nutrients, I started off by using half the recommended amount and work my way up to 3/4. Now it's time to balance the pH and make sure we keep it between 5.5 and 6. The plants are hungry, so I typically do this every couple of days.
Now it's time to enjoy the show.
All right. Here we are, all of my garden enthusiasts and passionate plant people. It is time for the Green Room here on the Urban Gardener channel. And not only is it really, really awesome to have all of you here with us tonight, but it is really, really awesome to have our co-host with us here tonight. Let's welcome to the Green Room our co-host, Natalie from the Fresh Princess. Thank you, Natalie. It's good to
Happy
see
Monday.
you.
Good to see you, Enoch. Thanks so much. And good to see you, everybody, gardeners and plant people alike. Good to see everybody. Happy Monday. Hope everyone's having a great day so far. We've got an awesome show planned for you. We've got Brandie from the Suburban Gardenista.
Yeah. And as well, we also got Michael from the Garden Nerd with us, a couple of great guests that we've seen here before in the Let's Get Growing show, and also Brandie being our trivia contributor for our Saturday show now. So it's gonna be really awesome to talk to her a little bit later here in the show. Plus, we also have our Grow What You Eat segment coming up here as well in just a few minutes also.
Yeah, I'm so excited about that segment. That's I definitely learned a lot from last week's. But yeah, and also just at the top of the show to give all the replay viewers a shout out for those of you that can't be here live and are watching the replay. Thanks so much for hanging out, and leave us a comment down below to let us know you were here.
Yeah, definitely let us know you're here if you're on the replay, but also if you are here with us live, definitely join in on the conversation with us too. Get into our chat, let us know you're here, let us know what you got growing on. And also too, here we also have new this year, our roll call. So definitely be getting in right now so we can mark you up for our roll call coming up here in just a few minutes as well. So all right, Natalie, how has your week been going?
I mean, I feel like I should ask you first. You're a busy guy. How's your week been going? What's new? How are you doing?
Oh man, so many things going on. So many things for sure going on. But definitely really starting to gear up myself right now for the gardening season. So I'm really been busy, been doing a lot of stuff. You know, we've been getting prepared for the shows and doing all that for throughout the winter time. But you know, it's February now. In fact, it's Groundhog Day today. If you're that, this is something we celebrate. We call it Groundhog Day. I don't even know if it saw its shadow or not today.
I don't know. Early spring is all I know.
Exactly.
And I'll take it.
Is that what it's saying? Early spring, but we don't know.
I don't know.
What,
I think
I never know which one it is.
Yeah, that's how rumors start. I don't know.
Is it 6 weeks if it sees its shadow, or is it if it's not? I don't know that one, but early spring, I'll take it.
Yeah, all I care about is it coming early or not?
Exactly. But yeah, it is. It's beginning of February now. So that means that spring is really just a few weeks away now. We got to get through this month. and spring will be next month, but that means we're getting a lot of stuff geared up and starting to do it. So I'm going out there clearing beds out in the back area to start getting ready for some of my early spring cool crops, and then a
Nice.
lot of work we got to do doing some winter cleanup again. I put myself in the same situation that I did last year, Natalie, is that when the end of the gardening season was over, I kind of just left everything, and
Yeah.
it's out there just kind of looking terrible and just been looking awful throughout the winter time. So it's definitely going to be some spring cleanup coming up here real
See,
soon, so we get things going.
I'm one step ahead of you where I clean it
Excellent.
all out, put it in a pile next to the garden bed, and then it just sits there all winter long. So I may as well have just left it in the bed. So,
Right.
it's not that much of a difference. I put in the work for no reason.
Right, I know. Well, again, too, I always kind of wonder that myself. If I go and do all that work, before at the end of the season and all of that, things just kind of there's still work to be done in the beginning of the season, anyways. So
Absolutely.
let's just hold it off. In my case, that's what I'm doing.
Yeah, I know. But the time flies around so quickly that I'm somebody, I know I'm not going to be doing my stuff until last minute. I won't be ordering seeds until second week of May, probably. I'm behind with everything.
Yeah, yeah. And again, that's the thing. It's catch up. And for gardeners like, us and all of the folks out there as well too, because I know you're just as guilty as me. But we put so much on our plate each and every year when it comes to gardening, because we just want to grow everything. That's all there is to it. You really gain a passion for growing and gardening. You want to grow everything you possibly can. And I think
Yeah,
that's kind of one of the harder parts for me at this time of season too, is really making those big decisions. What am I gonna
yeah.
grow? What am I, what do I want to grow, but I'm gonna have to put up on,
You need to break the addiction. It's hard to break the addiction. Once
It is.
once you have the gardening itch, it's just never going away. There's no cure for it. It's just you're stuck with it now. You're stuck with it
Mhm.
now.
You're stuck with it. You're stuck with it. Once it really seeps into your bones and your blood and all of that, it's a part of your life after that. It's a lifestyle,
Yeah.
and still comes with hard decisions to make. Like I said, so I got to figure out some stuff that I want to do, and what I want to grow, and how much I'm really going to expand my garden for this season.
Yeah.
Last year I didn't grow as much as I usually do. I kind of took a little step back. We had some mainstays, some things that I usually grow anyways. Lots of volunteers, stuff that I let go to seed, just pop up all over the place, that we just kind of maintained throughout the season last year. So I didn't do too much as far as really putting a garden out last year.
Right.
So this year I kind of want to step it up a little bit and kind of, I don't know if I'm gonna go full swing like I did in years past, but I definitely want to step it up a little bit more from what I did last time. So that's kind of the big decision. What is it I'm going to
See,
add?
I'm
What
a
am I gonna
bad
do?
influence. I'm just the worst. I'm just add everything, plant it
Yeah,
all,
just do
do
it
it
all.
all. We got like over 100 plants in here. Bring on
Yep.
more. That's the way I am.
And it's definitely guaranteed. It's guaranteed that I'm going to end up adding things in there and still have more than what I probably should be doing, even though, I
And that's
am planning on geared
okay.
up. It's
That's part
okay.
of the
It's all
problem.
right. It's
Part of the
okay. We'll deal with
we
that all
accept
down the
you.
road.
We accept you for who you are,
Exactly. I love it. I love it. That's so great. So yeah, again, so how about for you? I mean, it's looking greener and greener back there. I mean,
Yeah, it's
how things
been
going? I love the
bittersweet week.
eggplant you were showing. I think we got another view
Yeah.
of it coming up here soon too.
Yeah,
Man.
it's been a bittersweet week. I lost a couple of plants. My first plant that was finally giving me fruit,
Yeah.
unfortunately had some kind of leaf spot. And when you're dealing with so many plants in an indoor garden, it's just better to get rid of it. So I had that, and then I had some zinnia flowers, some powdery mildew issues. So I had to get
Mm,
rid of that. So it was a little bit of a tough week, but there was also it was also a rewarding week because we got fruit growing and things are thriving. So a little bit of give and take.
yeah, yeah. A little bit of give and take. That's what take what you can get.
Exactly. But that's the life of a garden, right? Get ready
Yep.
for a lifetime of heartbreak, but also a lifetime of rewards. I feel like a broken
Mhm.
record because I say that all the time.
Yeah, yeah. Well, it's definitely true. There's a lot of, like, especially for new gardeners and people just kind of getting into growing. There's a lot of that learning process about, being okay with the, plants not making it and all that sort of stuff. So, kind of getting used to those heartbreaks in some sense. The
Yeah.
pests that are going to take care of some of your plants that you weren't really anticipating, or things just not growing the well. And there's a lot of that stuff that kind of comes along with it, but guaranteed there are going to be more positive things than you will ever know that come with gardening in the long run.
Absolutely, because it's not just the tangible rewards like the harvest, it's also the learnings, right? And the
Yep.
life lessons. And there's a lot of profound lessons to be learned, or wisdom to be
Yeah.
derived from your plants. So it's cool.
Excellent. Definitely. So right on, right on. So we got lots and lots of things growing on there, everybody.
Yeah, who do we got with us today? We're gonna do a little roll call.
Again, I think that's about right. It's about that time then. Let's go ahead and get that started here. Let's do a little roll call.
My name is Kevin. Yeah. That is my name. Yeah. They call me Kevin. Yeah. Because that's my name. Roll call.
All right, everybody. This is your chance right now to get into the conversation with us here at the top of the show. This is an opportunity for us to give a few minutes here to everybody joining in on the conversation with us today. So if you can, drop right in there with some, let us know what you got growing on, where you're growing from, all of that sort of stuff as we give you a shout out here. Let's go ahead and we know Riz is in early. We got Lex in here just every day, ready to go. I love it. This is just so awesome. I look forward to this now in our third show here, seeing Lex dropping in.
6 cups of coffee.
6. I know. It's like that's
wow, Riz. Cheers. Thanks for hanging out.
Absolutely.
We got Robin from Chicagoland. Hope you're staying warm, Robin. Thank you so much for being with us tonight.
Yeah, she says, what a great lineup. Yeah. Lineup includes you, Robin.
I know.
See you here in just a few minutes.
That's why she said that. She knows.
That's right. MKP, awesome to see you. Thank you so much for being here. It's always great to see you in our conversation. And real quick as well, too, I will mention this one, too. Our moderator, facilitator, all-around producer and extraordinaire, the J-Bot in the background as well, joining us from Midwestern Ontario, Canada.
Yeah, and we got Adam. What's up, Adam? Thank you for hanging out. I know it's a good friend of yours.
Yeah. Adams joins us right up the road from me here in Southern Oregon. And always great to see Adam here, as well as Mia. So great to see you back here with us again, too. It's really awesome to see you here in the conversation.
And what's up, Jay? Good to see you. Thanks for hanging out. Happy Monday.
Yeah, and of course we got Shawnee from Shawnee Grows, another one of our Grow What You Eat contributors, listening in with us tonight. Thank you so much.
Yeah, hope everyone did their homework for tonight.
Yeah, that's right. She gave some homework.
Yeah,
that's right. Hope you guys are working on that. All right.
And we got Val. Good to see you. Thanks for hanging out.
Yeah, Val, thank you so much, as well as Janet Potter. Always great to see your name in our conversation, Janet. Thank you so much. Great evening to you as well.
And Serena, happy Monday. I hope you're having a good evening or afternoon, depending on what time it is for you.
Yeah, exactly. We're all over the place around here.
Yeah, we're international at the Green Room here.
This international for sure. Val. Hey, Jay. Hi there in the desert of northern Arizona. It's really dry, a bit chilly, and growing beets and garlic right now. That's awesome.
We got our guest who's also from Arizona, so that'll be cool to pick his brain about the weather.
Yeah, exactly. If you got any questions about
Ray.
That stuff.
Good to see you, Ray. Thanks for hanging out.
Yeah, hope you're doing great too, Ray. Thank you for being here. And Darth, great to see you. Good to see your name in the chat there. It's great. It's great to have you back with us here. Did you miss Groundhog Day? I said, no. We were just talking about there. I was just saying, like Natalie, right? I don't know if the groundhog saw its shadow or not, but I guess it's spring is sooner coming away, right?
Hopefully.
Hopefully.
And we got Kat's Tiny Wannabe Homestead. Good to see you. Thanks for hanging out from the Colorado Rockies. Nice. Welcome.
Right on. And we got Oh, one of our guests in the conversation here, already jumping in with everybody. Very excited to join the show soon. Yeah, we've been really enjoying Brandie's garden trivia on the Saturday show. She took over our garden trivia and has been doing such an amazing job with that so far. So it's gonna be really great to catch up with her tonight and see how
Yeah, I
everything's
can't
going.
wait to chat.
Yeah.
From Oklahoma. Yes, Texas is my love. A variety of tomatoes and peppers. Nice, MK. Happy
Excellent.
growing.
Excellent. Serena was also mentioning it's 7 p.m. here.
Nice. So evening applies. Evening applies. Good evening.
Yeah, there we go. And Ray, again, thank you so much. Awesome, everybody. Thanks for joining with us there in our
It sounds like we've got somebody else doing a roll call in the background there. Do you have a cat?
Oh, do you hear him?
Yeah.
He
Like,
is here with us
We
today.
got somebody else who wants to get in on the roll call.
Yeah. George is he's at my feet right now. He's trying to bother me about something. I was wondering whether or not everybody could hear him or not.
Oh, we could hear him.
What are you doing? Yeah, we had Joe's
Oh,
cat with
yeah,
us
right.
last week.
Yes,
Let's
we
get
did.
George in the conversation here
Yeah.
today.
Hi, George. Nice
This
to
is
meet
our big
you.
Georgie. Yeah.
Very cute.
He's a talker. That's why you'll hear from him, but he's not
Yeah.
usually in the
Well,
studio with
roll call. Good evening, George. Thanks for hanging out.
us. Exactly, right? That's so awesome.
Nice.
Excellent. All right. Well, again, thank you everybody for dropping in for our roll call today. Again, it's really awesome to have all of you all here with us for the Green Room tonight.
Yeah, it's always nice to see familiar faces, but also newcomers. Always welcome.
all the
Always exciting.
new ones. And again, too, if you haven't dropped in yet and you missed the roll call, definitely still jump in. Let us know you're here, all of that sort of stuff. We'll try to get you up on the screen. If you got any questions, comments, or anything like that, we definitely want to hear and see those in the conversation as well, too. And yeah, so definitely do that. Drop questions, comments into the chat if you can, and let us know, especially when our guests come up here too, and you got questions for them.
We've got a soil expert and we've got a native plants expert. So get your questions ready.
Yeah, definitely. We want to see those questions for our guests coming up here. In just a few more minutes, we'll have our guests coming up, and but it's probably about time, Natalie, to just go ahead and jump right in to our new segment. Shawnee gave us a good homework, as you said last week. This week, I do believe Robin's got for us a plant of the month.
I feel like we're in class.
Yeah.
Hi, it's time for the plant of the month on the Grow What You Eat segment of the Green Room. Each month I'm going to bring to you a different plant that's been tested in my suburban Chicagoland garden. I'm Zone 5B. It's going to be full of flavor. It's going to have good productivity. And I think that you're going to want this plant in your garden also. Let me tell you more about this month's plant of the month, the Anaheim pepper. It all started one chilly January when I received an exciting gift from a friend in England, a packet of her Anaheim chili seeds. I'd never been one to grow hot peppers, sticking mostly to the sweet varieties, since Al and I rarely cook with a spicy one. But curiosity got the best of me. And wow, had we been missing out. The Anaheim pepper turned out to be a flavor revelation, fruity, with a sweetness and a hint of earthiness and just a gentle bit of heat. It has a Scoville rating of about 500 to 2,000. Compare that to a jalapeno, which has a Scoville rating of about 5,000 to 8,000. So it makes it perfect for anybody who wants the flavor without the heat. Once roasted, that Anaheim pepper develops more depth of flavor. It's smoky, it's sweet. Basically, it's utterly delicious. Well, how did I grow those Anaheim peppers? In 2025, my 2 Anaheim pepper plants were grown in well-amended raised beds. They reached an impressive 4 feet by 3 feet wide, and they were loaded. I mean, loaded with fruit. Harvest started rolling in for me in about mid-September, and by the end of the season, I counted 203 gorgeous red peppers. They averaged in size about 5 inches long. I have come out to pick Anaheim peppers, and look at those gorgeous peppers now. Never thought that they were gonna ripen, but yeehaw, they sure have. So I have to get in there and pick a bunch of peppers. Here's what worked for me. In the fall of 2024, in prep for 2025, I topped my beds with 4 inches of organic leaf mold compost that I had delivered. Under that, I put organic alfalfa pellets. And then I put them to rest for the winter. So it had that whole winter season to gain nitrogen and good stuff from the snow and weather that happened and kind of percolate down into the soil. Then in the spring, I mixed a balanced organic granular fertilizer and humic acid into each of the planting holes. The summer feeding was only twice, and I gave them a balanced organic liquid feed. I originally started those pepper plants on March 3rd. I hardened them off well and transplanted them out into my garden in mid-May. The same peppers also thrived up in the kitchen garden where I grew them for that project with the master gardeners up in Door County for that special project. So it proved their versatility both in my Chicagoland garden and up in the Door County, Wisconsin garden as well. I did have one mishap with the plants. There was a summer storm that came through, and they were so laden with fruit at that point that 2 of the branches broke a bit. They were still attached, but they were definitely broken and leaning. And so I was like, well, what do I have to lose but fruit here? Let's try this. I went and I got some duct tape. My husband got some big, long 4-foot poles. We put those poles in. We foam wired the branches up onto the broken branches up onto that wire. And then I taped the wounds where they had split. Guess what? It worked, and it worked perfectly. I did not lose one pepper. Anaheims typically germinate in 7 to 10 days and mature at around 80 days. And they absolutely adore the full sun. If you have a warm microclimate in your yard, that's even better. They'll shine their brightest there. Well, why you'll love Anaheims. The Anaheim pepper is mild, flavorful, endlessly useful, and a true gateway chili for gardeners and cooks alike. It's earned a permanent spot in my garden and my kitchen, and I hope it finds one in yours too. A little pro tip: if you need a quick flavor bomb in the kitchen, dehydrate your Anaheim peppers and grind them into a rich aromatic powder and add a pinch of this to your soups, your sauces, your rubs for a smoky, sweet pop of flavor that transforms any dish. Well, that's the plant of the month. And remember to grow what you eat and eat what you grow.
Ivy Organic was founded on the gardening concept of whitewashing, simply lightening your plants to better tolerate weather extremes, transplant shock, and so much more. Such a valuable gardening practice that farmers have been doing it since BC times. However, in recent years, most research has been caring for plants and trees using latex and tar-based products which are designed to last 100 years, but fall off your plants within 1 to 2 years as your plants grow, contaminating your garden soil indefinitely. Available in colors white or more natural looking colors such as brown, green, gray, and grayish. Ivy Organic has 2 general categories of whitewash products. The 3-in-1 Plant Guard, which includes 7 natural oils including castor, cinnamon, clove, garlic, peppermint, rosemary, and spearmint, which offer insect and rodent repellent protection, and the whitewash oil-free formula. Both products also have diatomaceous earth in the base ingredients, which naturally offer some insect repellent protection too. As always, keep growing with Ivy Organics and wishing you all happy gardening.
Why wait for the right season to start your garden when you can grow anything you want all year round? This is my indoor garden where I grow all of my own produce regardless of the season. Aeroponically grown food, pesticide-free, all organic. The mission is to inspire and educate others to do the same. Whether you're limited in space or not, an indoor garden can be your reality. Follow along as I explore all the ways to achieve a successful indoor garden. From aeroponic Dutch buckets to vertical grow towers, I experiment with all kinds of grow mediums and varieties. Let's learn and grow together and reclaim our food sovereignty.
All right. There we are.
We're back.
Here
We're
we
back.
are.
Every time I see that, I miss the days that my garden was fuller.
I know, it looks so wonderful. It's on its way, though. It's on its way.
It's on its way. Couple more weeks.
Absolutely. Real quick, though, too, I just want to mention everybody that our sponsor, Ivy Organic, is having their annual free fruit and plant scion giveaway. This is where you go and select some really cool stuff. They used to do more of like a fig giveaway in years past, so I think they got all sorts of different stuff for you to choose from. So definitely check the link down below in our description to our sponsor, Ivy Organic, and go check out their free fruit scion and plant giveaway for sure. So that's a great opportunity to add something new to your garden, plus get some of our sponsors 3-in-1 Plant Guard. I'm telling you guys, this is something you're really going to love, especially if you grow some fruit trees and all of that as well too.
Yeah, nothing like a good giveaway.
That's right. Also, too, I did want to mention, if you saw during our break there, Natalie showed us her eggplant there, I believe, today. So if you do want to join in on the snapshot of the week, this is something new we're doing as well too this year on the show, on all of our shows as well too. All you got to do is send me some pictures of your garden or different things going on in your garden. Heck, if you got a garden pet as well too, like George or something, you can get him in on it as well, or your favorite garden pets. But yeah, just send us some pictures to the Urban Gardener at mail.com. That's not Gmail. I got to make sure I always say that, though. It's not Gmail. It's just mail.com, the Urban Gardener at mail.com. Send us your pictures. Let us know what they are, who you are, where you're growing from, all of that sort of stuff, and we'll get those featured on an upcoming show. Right on.
Absolutely. Yeah. So we have an awesome show planned, but are you you're going to let us know what's coming up for or how the weekend went?
Yeah, exactly. We had a great weekend, but I do want to start with letting everybody know we did have a really amazing, awesome conversation last Monday on the Green Room as well too, with Joe Lample joining with us. I mean, just an awesome conversation with him. Again, he was a little late. But that's all right. All you gotta do if you want, you can just fast forward into
You know
it a little
what?
bit and
In
catch
the
up with the
gardening,
conversation.
in the gardening world, there's no such thing as late.
That's
That's
right.
like, you know what?
Yeah.
There's no such thing as that. It's as long as you're here and you're ready to grow,
Yep.
let's go.
Exactly,
You
exactly.
know?
And, and it may have been just a little bit, whatever late, I guess, if we'll say, but, we did keep him a bit extra time, so we got a good full conversation with him as well too, so definitely go back and check that out. And also Saturday, this weekend on the show, Saturday, we had our first community show of 2026 here on the Let's Get Growing show, and that's where you, the audience, are the guest. We'll let you all know well enough ahead of time for our next community show, but go back and check that out. You can see some familiar names and faces. I guess you see the faces of the names you see in the chat, because that's what it's all about, Natalie, is,
Yeah,
connecting with our community, and that's
absolutely.
best thing about doing these types of shows and getting to do this sort of stuff is to really not just highlight the community through these awesome, amazing guests that we get to have conversations with, but we get to, have
But
these
also the
conversations with
viewers.
you. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. It's always nice to get to know who's on the other end, who's watching, who's tuning in, and they're all a part of the community just as much as we are. So,
Yeah, that's what we are.
wonderful
We're a
thing.
community show. This is a community show. This is where you come to gather, hang out, talk all about gardening, and connect with each other and all sorts of other gardeners. But that community show is just a really fun opportunity for me as the host. And also the J-Bot joins with us as well now too. So she hangs out with us to talk with everybody. And,
Yeah,
kind of like an old radio show, you call in and talk to the radio host, except for this is video. You come all in and come on the show with us and everything. It was really, really fun. Our
that's
first one of
awesome.
26. And also yesterday on the Sunday edition of the show, I mean, this is one I'm really, really was excited about having this conversation. It's always awesome to have our friend Dr. Jeffrey Pierce, MD, join us for another appointment with Dr. Jeff and talk about gardening as medicine. But Dr. Jeff and I yesterday talked about blue zones, Natalie. Have you heard about blue zones before?
Yes, I have.
Yeah.
The zones where you live a really long life, right?
Right. Exactly. Where, just high rates of longevity, and they
Yeah,
study these places to find out, what are these common things between these different blue zones from around the world. So it was
yeah,
really awesome to be able to talk to Dr. Jeff. Really, what we did is we looked at the 9 principles of these blue zones and kind of how they relate to gardening. And almost every single one of them has some sort of aspect of gardening to it if we apply it that way. So it was
right.
an awesome conversation. You'll want to go back and check that one out for sure.
Nice. Yeah, I've seen him on your show before. He's got a lot of information, very knowledgeable.
Yeah, it's always awesome. Again, if you have a kind of a variety talk show like this, you got to have your house doctor, right?
Yeah, for
And
sure.
he's full on medical school, medical doctor. He's done years and years of practice and everything. He's so smart about stuff, but he's really, really is these finding ways of connecting as what we call the segment, gardening as medicine. How our
Yeah,
garden can be really used to not just, to
yeah,
help us have a better, healthier life. And it's not just
absolutely.
eating the food we grow either. There's all sorts of other stuff. So you'll definitely want to check those conversations out.
Nice.
One last thing I got to mention before we get moving on here to the rest of the show, though, too, is each and every month here on the Let's Get Growing show, we do have our monthly gardening book club on our Sunday edition of the show. This is the third Sunday of every month. We select a book to feature, and this month's book is Veggies for Breakfast, featuring Willie Galloway. So on the third Sunday of this February, I believe it's the 15th or 16th. Oh, you'll have to double check. I keep getting myself caught up on that. But it's the third Sunday. Willie Galloway is going to join with us to talk about this just really, really awesome book. It's really our first delve into like a full-on kind of cookbook. But the point here is, how do we get those foods similar to what Shawnee and Robin and Katrina are talking about in our Grow What You Eat segment? But how do we get these things that we're growing in our garden put onto our plate? And especially with this book, the most important meal of the day.
Absolutely. And it's a great segue into the growing season, right? So that everyone is prepped and they know what to do with their harvests.
Right on. Excellent. Well, you know what? Here it is. It's about time to really dig into this green room today, huh? How about that? Let's go ahead and get this green room started off today. We've got some really, really awesome guests with us here
Yeah,
today.
Joining us in the green room, we have Brandie from the Suburban Gardenista.
Hi guys.
What's up, Brandie?
Yeah. Hey, Brandie.
How's it going?
Yeah,
Thank you
we
for
also
joining us.
Yeah.
I'm happy to be here. I've been listening on the show. You guys have already had good chat so far, so happy to jump in now.
Awesome.
Yes, excited to
Awesome.
have you.
Excellent. And we also have with us another return guest to the Let's Get Growing show. We've got Michael, the garden nerd.
What's
Hey
up,
guys,
Michael?
How you doing, Michael?
good. Happy to be here. Always a fun time when we're talking about growing. This will be fun.
Yeah, we're excited to have you both here. So, how are you both doing today?
Doing okay. It's really cold here in Southern Ontario. We have just frigid temperatures, so my garden does not look anything like yours. Even though, Natalie, I know you're not far from me. So
No, we're not local, but Ontario. Yeah.
Yes, but I do not have the beautiful greenery that you have. I have a lot of snow.
It's okay.
And that's
Natalie has to get indoors in her basement to do that. So
That's right.
Yeah.
That's
It's a far trek.
right.
I won't make you all feel bad. It was 85 degrees here yesterday.
oh my, here comes the guy from
Everything's growing in my
Arizona into the
yard.
house.
Oh, we'll come visit.
That's
Well-
Yeah, I mean, I have hundreds of peppers right now. I'm harvesting broccoli, cauliflower, tulips are growing, everything's
Wow.
growing. But that's
Right.
the desert, right? I won't be bragging in the summer when it's 115 degrees and everything's frying.
The next episode of the Green Room, we're going to do it on location from
Woohoo!
Arizona.
There you
yeah,
go.
right from Michael's backyard for
Right?
sure.
We're gonna enjoy some of his harvest.
I wanted to do this out in the backyard so you could see all the greenery, but it's dark now, so it didn't work
Oh,
out.
Okay.
yeah. It's
all
still that
good.
time of year. It's still getting dark a little early. It is starting to get lighter though later, so I'm looking forward to these longer days coming up.
Yeah, absolutely. So before we jump into things, we're
Mhm.
trying out a little bit of a lightning round segment to kind of get you guys going, put you guys in the hot seat right away, and just get the burning questions out of the way. Are you guys interested in a little lightning round?
Oh
Okay,
my,
let's do
here
it.
I
Nervous,
go.
so let's do it.
I am.
gotta-
Oh no, I'm trying to find my. Oh no, where's our countdown clock?
We got a 60-second timer, but
Oh.
yeah,
If
You
I
got
can
it?
find it, I don't know
That's
if we
okay.
got our
Take-
60-second
take your
timer
time. We'll
up.
give you got 60 seconds on the clock and go.
I know. Where did it go? Let's see if I can't find it right here.
That's okay. We can.
There it is.
You got it.
I do believe we got it. Let's see how this works too, because I'm not sure how with 4 people. So this is all testing and we're working this
Yeah.
stuff out here.
So, Brandie is going to be number one. First, we're going to
Okay.
ask her the
Ooh,
questions.
We're
She's
throwing
got
Brandie the
60
hot seat
seconds.
first.
Oh,
Yeah, she'll have 60 seconds to answer 10 questions that are catered specifically to her.
okay.
And then we'll move on to Michael. How does that sound?
That sounds good. There was no preemptive.
Oh no, I started it early. Sorry, get that
That's
back.
okay.
Whoops, here we go. Okay, everybody's on there. We're good. Okay.
Oh, I better have the
Alright.
right answer.
So, well, there's no right or wrong. It's
Okay.
first thing that comes to mind. Let's just have fun with it. No stress. It's just a
Okay.
way to kind of break the ice, and it opens up the floor to more questions. So,
Okay,
all right.
let's do it.
Are you ready?
I think so.
All right.
I'm-
All right. Enoch, are you ready?
Ready to go. You tell me
All
when.
right. Let's go now. Number 1, what's your favorite plant?
Obedient plant.
Best part about being a pollinator steward?
All the cool critters that come to visit.
Direct sowing seeds or starting seeds early?
Starting seeds in the fall.
Biggest gardening myth you wish would disappear?
What is a weed?
Early spring in Ontario, frost cloth or crossed fingers?
Cross fingers.
If you could only grow one edible crop for a whole season, what's your pick?
Ooh, something that gets bigger and better every year, like raspberries.
Finish the sentence. I knew I was officially a gardener when
When people started asking me questions.
one tool you didn't think you needed, but now you can't live without.
Editing software.
Most difficult plant you've ever grown?
Oh gosh. Blueberries.
And who is your biggest gardening inspiration?
Enoch.
What?
Wow, you did it! Wow. Well, you know what? For that one, we should have a ding, 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 because you
I know.
completed all.
I know. We need ding, ding, dings on that, don't
We
we?
had Joe was our beta tester last week, and he did not get all of the questions. So great job!
Yeah. You
All
got it all
right.
the way through. The only thing I'm
Mike-
not liking here is our banners, the way our screen is. We're covering Michael's face here. Sorry,
Oh.
Michael.
Oh,
I
Oh,
don't
I
see.
see
I
Michael.
have my YouTube up, and I see him. I have our
With the banners even? When the banners
yeah.
come up? Okay, well, let's go
I
ahead.
or
and-
That's all right. You don't
maybe
need to
when
see
the
my
banners-
face.
Why don't you switch? You can switch me with Michael. I'm just asking the questions. You don't have to see me.
Let's see here real quick. Okay, there we are with that one.
All
Ready
right,
to go? Are you ready, Michael?
Buckle
do
up,
it.
Michael. You ready?
I'm
All
ready.
right. Enoch,
Get
let's
set.
go now. Filming garden content. Hardest part: talking to the camera or editing footage.
Editing footage.
Most difficult plant you've ever grown.
Probably avocado.
One plant that thrives in the Arizona heat that surprises people.
Mango is my favorite.
Drip irrigation or hand watering. Pick one forever.
Hand watering. I like being with my plants.
Plant you want to grow, but the Arizona climate refuses to cooperate.
Probably avocado, which is why it's the hardest to grow.
Most valuable life lesson the garden has taught you.
Patience.
Worst gardening advice you've ever gotten.
Water in the desert every day, a short amount of time.
One tool you didn't think you needed, but you can't live without.
A hat, 'cause it's hot and sunny in Arizona.
And biggest gardening inspiration.
This might be a weird one. Gray Brown, who talks about regenerative agriculture.
Yeah.
Cool. And most rewarding part about being a YouTube creator.
Helping other people learn how to
Oh, nice.
Well, you
What was
got
that
them
again? I'm
all.
sorry. One more
grow.
time.
Helping people learn how to grow.
love
Yes.
that.
That's
You
great.
guys did a great job. That was awesome. All right, now we can relax.
That's fine.
Ooh, there we go. How much fun was that, guys? Huh? I love this. I love
I
this
just
idea.
like to stress our guests out because it brings out the best in them for the interview.
Yeah,
You know?
That's
I mean,
right.
A little bit.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful. Right on. Excellent. Though. Again, really awesome to have you guys here. Is kind of really is a way kind of our initial kind of, this is the format. This is, we've been kind of doing the show already a couple of weeks already, kind of gearing up to things and getting things started up and everything. But really, it's really great to have you guys here. And especially we'll start with you, Brandie, real quick here. But I just want to know a little bit here. How are things going? How have you been enjoying now being the new trivia on our Saturday show? I mean, this has just been really awesome, and everybody's been really loving it and enjoying it. But I just wanted to take this chance to say thank you and see how you enjoying it so far.
It's fun. It's fun. I was thinking that I would do some filming outside as well in the snow, but it has been just so bloody cold here that like negative 30 and lower. And like I went to go do it one day and negative 30 Celsius for you folks.
Right.
I went to go do it one day and it was freezing rain. So, you know, like I found a spot that's kind of neutral in the house, and that might even be better because then there's no other things going on. I don't know about you guys, but when you're filming outside, there's always something. I mean, there's not going to be any leaf blowers or mowers right now, but there easily could be snow blowers. So, so it's just kind of a little bit more private. And definitely, I'm going to try for shorter questions so that I can get it all out there. And I'm going to try to keep it current, kind of keep it with the season and have some fun with it. Do you think my question, the first one I did that you've aired was on host plants. Was it tricky enough? I want to make sure it's not too
I
easy.
thought it was perfect. I thought it was perfect. And I love too that you throw in the nice little entertaining one in there.
Yeah, I'll
too.
throw
It's
in a
just
little
perfect.
punny one there. And I've got some ideas for Love Month for February.
Here
So
we go.
I love a good theme.
yeah, I got some ideas there. So yeah, I'm having fun. Thank you very much for inviting me to do it.
Absolutely.
And what about you, Michael? Arizona, how's the climate treating you there? You've got a garden in full swing right now.
It's great. I always feel bad, like when other people up north are like, you can't do anything, I can't go outside. But winter, honestly, you can grow it. Here in Arizona, the seasons never stop in terms of when you can grow things.
Beautiful.
It's been though this year, it's been like even more hot than normal in the winter. Like I said, we hit a record yesterday, 85 degrees. My lettuce is bolted, and it's like barely February. I had to pick my broccoli and cauliflower extremely fast. Everything's already budding out. My peaches, I have blossoms. My mulberry tree's budding out. So it's springtime here in Arizona already, and we're only the second day of February.
Wow.
Which is fun. Always something to do.
I was going to ask about the cool weather crops. How do you make that work?
Well, the problem with mine, and usually they do okay, the cool weather crops, they're in the bright sun. They get sun all day.
Yeah.
But that has proven to not be good this year with it being so warm. And it's kind of, honestly, it's a worry of mine with stone fruit that needs certain chill hours.
Yeah.
I mean, I haven't looked at the numbers, but I'd be surprised if this winter we even hit 200 chill hours.
Oh, wow.
And so we're getting lots of blossoms and whatnot, but it's not turning into fruit. And that's kind of a trend we've been seeing. So it worries me in the future if we're going to be able to grow apricots and peaches and pears and plums.
Yeah. Do they flower up and then just drop or something? Or do they try to form a fruit and then just kind of dry out and drop or something? They're not.
Last year, my apricot had thousands of blossoms. I probably got 24 apricots was it. So they flower and then just drop and no fruit ever forms.
Oh.
Yeah.
So sad.
Yeah. Kind of sad. It's great for all the tropical stuff, which I love to grow, right? Because we don't have to worry about freezes and stuff through the winter.
Yeah, they don't need those chill
hours. I haven't had
hours.
to cover anything this winter because we haven't even gotten close to freezing yet. So my mangoes and everything are loving life.
Yeah,
I can imagine. Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah. Not to brag. Sorry, Brandie, talking about your snow.
Maybe in my other part of my life, sans gardening, I work in the realm of climate change. So working in climate change, I do not wish winter away. You know, we're trying to embrace it as much as we can as a family and play in the snow and have fun in the snow and enjoy it, even when it's really, really cold. I'm doing my best to stay warm, but I'm not wishing it away.
Yeah. Every season has its purpose. It's time, well, at least for us Ontarians or Canadians, it's time to relax a little bit. Enjoy the downtime. Well, it's not really downtime. Now it's preparation time. Are you doing anything right now to prepare for the spring for your garden?
I'm doing a lot of reading right now. I just started a new book on supporting pollinators, surprise. So by Heather Holmes. So I'm excited to be digging into that and learning more. And I might do a little plug. I just did a lookup. So I've done my pollinator steward certification through Pollinator Partnership Canada. And I just looked and they are starting next week. So if people want to get going with that program, and I don't work for them, I just did it and I loved it. But if you want to sign up, there's still time. And it's a fabulous program. You learn a ton about supporting pollinators in your garden. You have to build habitat and you have to do advocacy or education. So I'm just going to put a little plug in there because I did a little look and I think it starts literally next week. So
I saw it does actually. You're right. I looked it up just before connecting with you. And it looks very interesting and a great way to support the pollinators. And how long have you been a pollinator steward for?
I think I probably finished it a few years ago, like at least 3 or 4 years ago. I use that information literally constantly, and I try to share it as much as I can just to help people connect with how their garden can make such a difference. So
pollinators equal life.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We need them. So if you can support them in your garden with native plants, then I would highly encourage it.
Is that kind of like a master gardener course, like the equivalent kind of?
Well, it's a little different. I would say probably less time consuming, probably less expensive. I don't want to give the prices. You guys can go find the prices and see if it fits your budget. It fit my budget. It's I feel like it was 8 weeks of a once a week session. So it's a little bit more, a little less time commitment, but then again, it incorporates that need to build the habitat to support the pollinators to get your certification. And then also that education piece. So either like doing a workshop, I did a YouTube video on pollinators, sharing information with a school, whatever it might be. So I just love the combination of that. I think it's such a cool program that just helps to like share it wider, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And do you have anything like that in Arizona, Michael, that you're a part of?
No,
or that
that's what I was asking. I mean, we have the Master
yeah.
Gardener program, but
It's in the States too.
oh, so you can take it. Okay.
Yeah. So the
Nice.
Pollinator Partnership, there's two. There's one for the States and one for Canada. So you can go to the Pollinator Partnership, I think .org for the States, pollinatorpartnership.ca, or Pollinator Partnership Canada. Either way, you'll find it when you search it.
Yeah.
So absolutely, you
That sounds awesome.
we can all in North America. We can all do it.
Love it. I'll sign up and tell them to send you your commission check.
Oh yeah. Oh,
good.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, Brandie
Yeah, no,
10
really
checkout.
important stuff though too, and more I've been learning, and I think this is really something too as for gardeners and newer gardeners. You know, we get in, we want to, you know, we got an idea of what we want to grow and what we're doing, but I think as we progress in our knowledge and education in gardening, we start to learn more and more about the importances of natives and pollinators and these sort of things that are really affecting our garden. You know, really got to have pollinators to have the food you're trying to grow, right? You know, and it's just really, really important to be paying attention to them.
Absolutely, yeah. But with an indoor garden, I realized the necessity of that, right? Because I am the pollinator, and
Do
so
you
now
do it all by hand?
Yeah, so I have an
Yeah.
electric toothbrush, and I just buzz all over the place. And yeah, I mean, with certain things, it's not
Wow.
necessary, right? Just a fan will do the trick. But yeah, it just gives you a whole new perspective and an appreciation. No pollinators, no fruit, no, you know, it's very important.
Right.
Yeah, and we got Jay in here asking, you crocheted a pollinator to add.
I'm not done yet.
It's almost done.
I just learned how to crochet last week.
Wow, that's amazing.
This is
Yeah.
Cornelius the bee.
Really just the bee. And are you gonna attach it to your toothbrush, right?
I am. I've got the Oral-B toothbrush, and I'm just gonna, you know,
Buzz it around the garden.
So cute.
See?
gotta have fun in the garden.
That's right. That's right.
That is one good thing about, you know, I said everything was kind of already going to flower because it's been so warm. I always allow 2 to 3 to 4 things in my garden beds to go to seed, go to flower, because it's just, one, I think it looks beautiful, and 2, it just attracts so many pollinators.
Absolutely. And you get all the seeds.
Yeah,
It's a
and you get seeds. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So I always plant a couple extra that I know I'm not going to eat, just so it can go to seed and bring in those pollinators.
Oh, that's
Yeah, yeah. Lots of good colorful flowers as well. Bringing that color, and those colorful flowers will really attract a lot of their attention to your space and bring them in and all of that. But yeah, we don't think about it as much when we first start growing, as I was saying, you know, and then we really start to understand how important it is to have those in there. Those pollinators, and not just the pollinators though too, but all the other great bugs and wildlife and things that are, you know, you want in your garden. You know, you want your garden to be wild and natural and full of life, you know.
Yeah, so I guess that also plays into the soil, right? I know, Michael, that's kind of your niche, right? Is soil. But I'd say I'm not much of a soil gardener. I'm a new outdoor.
We're gonna get her there.
So,
we're gonna teach her
let's
all
pick your
up on
brain.
soil gardening.
Yeah, I you know, looked into your garden and your website, and that's your specialty. So tell us a little bit about that.
I love the soil. It's really weird. I'm 41 years old. If you would have asked me when I was 20, I would be like enthralled with the soil. I would be like, man, that guy is a loser. What's wrong with him? But now it's like, I love it. The more I learn about it, the more I love it. The more just intrigued and interested I become in learning more and more about it. Because we talked about, Enoch, you said, you know, without pollinators, there's no food. Without soil, there's like nothing, right?
Nothing.
There's no plants, there's no food,
Yeah,
there's
life.
Exactly.
And the crazy thing, if we're talking about life, that I always love to tell people is, in a single handful of good quality, healthy soil, there are more microbes, living biology, than there are people on the earth.
It's amazing.
And the main reason that I became very interested and just completely enthralled about it is because here in Arizona, we have very hard clay soil that has tons of nutrients in it, but no organic material in it at all. So all those nutrients are just locked up. And that makes it very, very hard to grow anything here in the desert. But once you start adding all that biology, then suddenly that biology gets moving. It starts eating all those nutrients. It starts making a plant available. And now you can suddenly grow almost anything and everything that you want to grow. So that's the secret. You can do everything else right, but if you don't lock in your soil, you're still probably going to have a hard time.
Yeah, it's
Again,
remarkable.
right? It's really, again, same story almost as pollinators with knowledge on soil care and soil, development. And that is that, as new gardeners, we don't think about it as much, but it's something you learn that importance of that more and more as you go. I'll just say though, too, if you guys were in and got to see Robin's segment there, she did Grow What You Eat. She was showing those Anaheim peppers.
Yeah.
I know I've seen peppers you've grown, Natalie, in that cool indoor garden you've got. I've grown peppers out in my garden, but if you see what Robin was doing with those Anaheim peppers there and that plant she has out there, that shows you what soil is, what soil gardening is about. I can grow some good sized plants, and I know in there you'll get them decent size, and the size that you're getting there, not too bad. But did you see the size of that Anaheim pepper plant she had?
Yeah,
that's soil gardening, and that's taking care of your soil. That's growing optimally through the good soil development. And I know she does a great job with that. You can tell with those, right, Michael? I mean, you can tell the difference with good soil when you're looking at those plants, right?
You can tell almost immediately the plant health, the leaves, and then just the quality of the fruit. And then when you bite into the fruit or the vegetable or whatever it may be, because it's taken, I mean, where do you think plants get their nutrients from? Right. Yeah. They get it from the ground. So if there's all that biology unlocking those nutrients for those plants to be able to take up, all those nutrients are going to be in the plant. And that's what makes
maximizing the flavor.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So if you were to give Natalie some advice as she's getting out in her garden this spring and going to start working and thinking about her soil, what would be like some first piece of advice you would give a new gardener like Natalie who's getting in? And
I just do like pro mix and manure every year. I just add more, and it's just a flower garden, right? But this year I'm going to add food. So whatever kind of advice you got.
Yeah, diversity and life, right? Like you want to add as much organic material as you can because that's where the life is going to come from. Right. Don't be scared of bugs, right? I don't know if you are. Okay, good.
I don't spray or use any pesticides. I embrace it. It's just Japanese beetles that I can only flick them off so many times.
Yeah. No, that's really the name of the game is diversity. Just adding as much living organic materials to the soil as you can. Oh, and then this is a big one. This is probably what I should have said when you asked like the worst gardening advice. The more I've learned about soil, the more I've learned about the detrimental effects of tilling the soil. Right. It's kind of like common practice. They're like, hey, it's springtime. I need to go out there and till up my ground. You are destroying the habitat of all of that biology and the fungi and everything living under there every time you tear it up. And so I'm a huge proponent of just chop and drop. Just every time I go out and I trim anything, whatever it is, throw it right back down to the ground and let it seep into the ground from the top down. Versus then tilling it up. So don't feel like, oh, I have bad soil, I need to tear it all up and throw stuff in it. No. Just add that organic material on top and you'll see. I started with hard clay soil. You could barely get a shovel in it. I've added, I would say probably 100 feet of organic material that's all just broken down over time. Now I can just go dig my hand right in the ground and it like pulls up just black, awesome, beautiful dirt.
Wow, that's awesome. That's impressive, especially for Arizona.
It's a lot of work.
I was just seeing Adams in the comments. He said, "Did Michael say he's my soulmate?" Adam's a soil biologist himself as well. Studied with Dr. Elaine Ingham's the soil food lab and all of that as well.
So did Michael, I think.
Yeah. Doctor, I took her course. Great course. Just kind of opened my mind and just she's
amazing.
A good job at breaking it down.
Yeah, she's amazing. He should have. In fact, I was thinking he should have said my soil mate.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
Do you rejuvenate native soil and bring back microbiology? And if so, what are suggestions? What suggestions would you have?
Yeah. So one thing a lot of people will say, hey, I'm starting a garden bed. I'm starting to grow in ground here in Arizona. We have bad soil, or wherever you have bad soil. They think they have to take out like the top 2 to 3 feet of that soil. You don't have to. Every soil in the world, this is according to Dr. Elaine Ingham, which I believe, has all the nutrients you need to grow anything. They're just chemically locked up, like I said before. And so if you can just get that organic material and that biology in there, it's going to unlock all of that native soil with all of those nutrients that you need. So it's not like you have to shovel out the bad and bring in the good. No, just add the organic material on top and suddenly it's all good.
Yeah, that's great advice. Great advice.
Yeah. I'll definitely have to put that into practice this spring.
Awesome.
I've really nerded out since Dr. Elaine Ingham's course, and I have a microscope.
Is that where the garden nerd came from?
No, I had no intention of ever looking into a microscope when I came up with that title.
Okay.
I guess I was foreshadowing.
So, Brandie, what are you doing to prep your soil for the spring? Do you do anything, or are your beds already set up and you just clean them up for the spring, or how does that look?
Well, I definitely will do the chop and drop in the fall. I leave most of my plants up. So I really am like, you want to call me a lazy gardener. I encourage just leaving your garden be for the bees, and definitely leaving the leaves. So I have some kind of terrible Norway maple trees on my property. So they've got these leaves that really take a bit of time to decompose. We do have grass, so we're not like totally opposed to grass. And so we move it off of the grass and onto the garden. Then I'll let that kind of just be. And then probably like in May or so, like I'll let the garden kind of wake up, let things start sprouting up, and then I'll kind of fluff it a bit because they do get quite matted down just to help. Sometimes you'll see some like really sad plants, like they're like, please let me come up. But yeah, I just, let it do its own thing. And as you say, like the critters will decompose those. And even though people do say like the Norway maple leaves are just, they will never decompose, they absolutely do. And I will put some organic like compost and manure over it as well. And then that'll be it. And I'll just do a little bit of mulch, but not like a thick layer, just kind of to pretty it up and not have all mulch either, so that you need a little bit of bare space for ground nesting pollinators as well. So yeah, I'm not too fussy. I just kind of let it do its thing.
Yeah. You just brought up a really great point, and I got a lot of flack about last time I mentioned it in some group somewhere as well too. I says, you know what? When you're thinking about pollinators and all of this, we do got to leave some open ground as well, because a lot of people are like, oh, set them up, make sure they got things they can crawl in and do all that sort of stuff with the leaves. And boy, oh boy, someone went after me on that one. I was like, no, I swear. It was Robin from Honey Girl Grows came on the show a couple of years back and was telling us about that. And I was like, yeah, that's something to remember. So I try to remember that too, as well as we're mulching and taking care of our garden, just to make sure we've got some good open ground space as well too.
Yeah, I also encourage like any kind of decomposing logs and such. I think it's beautiful. I think they add some dimension to the garden as well. So I kind of have them in like a nice decorative way. Some people, and you do what you do when it comes to gardening. They like kind of let it go totally wild, but I'm kind of incorporating native plant gardening and garden design at the same time. So just kind of show that in a suburban context, you can absolutely grow native plants. They don't just take over. They're not going to swallow you whole. So some of these concepts you can incorporate in a design kind of way as well. So leaving the logs, all sorts of critters will enjoy those logs, they nibble them away, and then bigger critters like birds might come and eat them. And so it just adds to that biodiversity in your garden, and it looks great too.
Yeah, I've got a bunch of little logs all around the alleyway and all over the place. And it was just this last summer I finally saw for the first time. And I was going to go out and see if I could find some and bring them into my alleyway space. But I finally saw a little lizard. And I know you probably see lots of those down in Arizona. Yes. We do have some native ones around here, but I've never really seen one in any of my area. So I wanted to get some and see what they would do. Maybe go after some of my earwigs or something. I don't know. I'm just thinking, right? But finally, like in the logs I set up this cool little thing. I finally saw one running in and out of one one of those logs too. So I was like, yes,
That's awesome.
there's good reason to do that stuff for sure.
So what do you, well, Michael, what do you do for pest or disease management? I'm assuming I don't know if you use pesticides or anything like that, or I'm assuming you don't. I don't know.
No, I don't. It's a great question.
Yeah.
And I'll kind of pose a question to you guys too, because I think about this often. I don't use anything, nothing, not even organic, right? So that's kind of where I'm at now. I kind of get into it in a nice way, right? Because gardening is supposed to be nice and peaceful. But I kind of go back and forth with people when they're like, hey, I'm going to take care of this pest organically. And my retort to that is, okay, if you're getting rid of all the pests, what do the beneficials have to eat? And if the beneficials don't have anything to eat, why are they going to be in your yard to take care of the pests? And so it's like this never-ending cycle that even if you're doing things organically, you're still having to do it yourself. I'm like, Brandie, call me lazy in the garden. I prefer to do nothing and let nature do it all.
A lot of it, exactly.
Well, that's the way it was intended, right? So if you just, sometimes less is more in the garden, and trying to control too many factors is actually a detriment to your success.
Yeah, it's a principle of integrated pest management, is that, we don't want to be killing off things which would be a more, a beneficial's food, that sort of thing, But I will say though, Michael, is that when I get some whitefly that comes up in my garden, I'm busting out my buddy's 3-in-1 plant garden. I'm spraying that stuff around too. And again, all natural, all organic, those sort of things. There are certain things that just I will not, and I will go out and fight. But I am totally with you for the most part when it comes down to mostly in general. I don't want to put anything in my garden.
Yeah.
Well, I want it to be as natural as possible.
Yes. You want to know what's interesting with this is it's been about 4 or 5 years where I decided, because I started looking at the science and everything, and I was like, hey, I should not have to do anything. It might take a while, but I should not have to do anything. So let's see. And the first year or two, I had squash bugs, I had white flies, I had some crops just completely decimated. But I was like, no, this should work. I'm going to stick with it. And honestly, the past 2 growing seasons, I see some aphids and other things show up, but they're gone and they don't actually do any harm because now the beneficials are all there. So it took me a few seasons, but I was patient and it worked, and now I don't do anything.
There you go. It's excellent. Yeah, and it's a good point though too, is that you just keep working those things and those types of strategies in your gardens, and eventually they're going to pay off down the road.
Well, that's what I've heard a lot of soil gardeners say as well, is if your soil and everything is properly balanced, you shouldn't have issues with diseases. I mean, forget about pesticides. Like, you shouldn't have any issues with mildews or fungus or anything like that if everything is balanced.
Right. I mentioned Gabe Brown. I wish I had the exact stat, but he said for every one pest, there's like 20,000 beneficials. Right. If we just get out of the way and let the beneficials come.
Let them in. So right on. One of the other things I was going to ask you about, since I'm not sure if you'd been doing any of this, Michael, since I talked to you last time on the show or anything, but I've been really enjoying catching every time you upload one of the clips. You've been doing a lot with your local news station there as well too, getting to be on the local news, teaching everybody about your different garden strategies as well, right? How did that all come about? And tell us a little bit how fun that's been.
So I part of the Garden Nerd, what I do is I have a monthly soil feeding and fertilizing program where I come out and help people soil. And one night I was like, hey, I need more exposure. I just emailed every single news station here in Arizona. And she emailed back, and one of them, and it was my favorite news station, which was great. So I thought that was awesome. And she said, sure, come in for one time and let's just see how it goes. And then afterwards, she's like, hey, this is great. You want to do it every month? And it's been 8 or 9 months, and we're going strong every month. But I love it. It's fun.
Happy news, right? It makes people feel good. It's happy news. I think they like that. They're often like, there's stuff happening, right? That this is something that makes people feel good.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
That's what
so
the
refreshing.
News
Yeah.
More gardening, more plants, all
productive, something productive that's going to help people get away from their screens and get into the garden, into the dirt, connecting with nature. Forget about what's going on in the world. That's what gardening's all about.
You're exactly right. Like that's honestly the whole reason why I have the YouTube channel and Instagram and everything, because I love it, as I know you all do. It's just, it brings peace after a stressful day. That's where I want to be, right? And I want to share that with everybody. So the news is just another outlet where I can quickly talk about it. And my 84-year-old grandma thinks I'm like the biggest celebrity because I'm on the local news.
It's wonderful, isn't
you
it?
technically are. You know you've made it when you're on the local news. It's true.
Right?
I know.
It's true. Just seeing yourself on TV is pretty cool.
See, I know I like doing the YouTube thing, and I've got this thing. I got this little studio in my house and all of that, but it's got to be a little intimidating walking up into like a real news studio with the camera and the camera people and the stage and the set and everything right there, right?
You know, at first I thought it was, but then, I mean, you all do YouTube, and it goes back to, it's just a camera. Like, I honestly am more comfortable talking in front of a camera than I am talking face to face. I know that's kind of weird, but I prefer to not socialize, just be in my yard and then just talk to the camera.
Me too. I'm the same way. It's just easier.
Yeah.
So
after the first time, now it's easy.
Now it's simple. Brandie, how long have you had your YouTube channel for?
I've had it for about 5 years, and I just have to say that as part of my job, I have to do media. And so so I've done like media training, and like, you know, if you can't talk in front of people, you can't talk to the news. And so this is actually one of the things that I did to help myself gain more skills talking to the news. So it's really like beneficial for my personal and my professional life. So yeah, it's totally helped. You know, I'm definitely, I can always improve. I'm stuttering right now.
No, you both are doing great.
Yeah, wonderful.
But yeah, it is interesting when you do have to engage with the media, how intimidating it really does feel. So yeah, this is actually really helpful for my professional life as well.
Yeah, I've had one little instance I did with Nick Federoff in his studio. He does some stuff down in Los Angeles there, and so he had his own like studio thing. So it wasn't like a big production studio of a network or anything, but it was still kind of intimidating. He had a whole crew there and big whole setup. I was like, okay, got up there though. But like you said, Michael, I just got into it a minute or two, and I was just going. You just kind of let it happen and let the conversation go, and everything was just kind of fine after that.
Yeah, I was the crew. That I was like behind the scenes back when I was in school, so I was on the opposite end of things. So it's full circle now. Well, not that I'm on TV or anything, but you know, to be on the other side of the camera now.
Yeah.
Well, interesting. You have a really good, just a great vibe. I've been watching some of your shorts, and now I know where those skills come from. I don't know about the rest of you all. I know a little bit about Enid's background as well, but I'm not sure about you, Michael. But like when you're into gardening, doesn't mean you're good at YouTube, you know, or editing or figuring out all the back end stuff. And so that has been such a learning curve. Just I always tell people it's mediocre. It's mediocre, and that's as good as it's gonna get.
I mean, I watched a bunch of your videos. Both of your videos are great. I saw you were doing some work on your yard. You've got a beautiful property, Michael.
Oh, I was like, oh,
yeah. Well, you too. I mean, both of you have beautiful property. I saw both of your gardens, but I was particularly, I forget what you were working on, but it just, you've got a beautiful yard.
I need a bigger yard. That's my problem now.
I mean, don't we all?
We all need more space.
We all need more space.
Yes. I find myself the other week on Facebook Marketplace, someone was selling mango seedlings. And I started messaging him, and then I'm like, I have 12 in my backyard that I haven't found a place where to plant yet. Why am I trying to buy more mango seedlings from this guy?
It's like I was saying to Enoch, the addiction is real. Like once you're in, that's it. It's game over. And now you need all the plants in the world and as many as you can of them.
I think I have like 10 trees right now that are like 1 centimeter in diameter and like maybe a couple feet tall, and like future Brandie's got something to work with, because I have quite a small property, And
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm filling it in.
May as
That's
well.
same for
Why
me.
not?
Yeah. Again,
Yeah.
too, it's all, we want to do and grow everything. Also, Michael, you mentioned really as well, too, this point that's really, really great is we're talking about, how we get hooked on gardening, as Natalie and I were mentioning earlier, too, is that there's all these other great benefits that come along with gardening other than just the food that we're growing, which is really great. It's awesome to grow your own fresh food. It's better tasting and all of that. But you mentioned, Michael, it's like, it's such a relief at the end of the day, coming home, maybe after some stress, all of that. It's one of the things I've always said around here is that once you get that kind of sense of like what it does for you mentally, you know what I mean? Then you're hooked. I think that's what really, sells people and gets people hooked on gardening for sure, is that sort of sense of like, man, what's this garden giving back to me, out of what I'm putting into it. And
Right.
yeah, it's just
Absolutely.
amazing to be able to have a day that just really isn't the best and then go and just spend some time with your plants and then wash it all away, right?
Yep.
Yeah, decompress in the garden. And during the lightning round, I asked Michael, what was the most valuable lesson that the garden taught you? But I don't think I got to ask you, Brandie. What's the most valuable life lesson that your garden has taught you?
I might steal Michael's, like patience for sure. Like especially like just over a long period of time. Like I said, I've got like small trees.
Mhm.
It's going to take a decade or so for these to get to full size and maybe not even right. So yeah, definitely patience. That is not one of my skills. So
Me neither. Yeah, welcome
has
to the
helped
club.
me with that space.
That's good.
That's funny you say that, Brandie, because sometimes people will be like, hey, if I plant this tree, how long till I get fruit? And I'm like, 5 years. And they're like, oh, that's so long. And then 2 years later, hey, how long would that take? And I'm like,
Yeah,
you could have planted it 2 years ago. Now you'd
Right.
only be three
Yeah.
3 years away.
I always say
You're still at 5 years, my friend.
should have done it yesterday.
Absolutely. I always say if you have any interest in planting a tree, do it today. Do it now.
Mhm.
If the snow is here and the ground is frozen, plan for the springtime.
Yeah. New property owners, people buying homes and all that sort of stuff. I say, think about your trees first.
Yes.
Yeah.
If you're just starting a garden or you're just wanting to get into all this stuff, think about those things that are going to take the longest, and it's going to be your trees. Start getting those going. And yeah, so like you said, Michael, you're not, and I did that. I think the first couple, I was like, oh man, I want to do some trees. And still waited like the first couple of seasons and then started my first peach tree. It's like, man, I sure wish I would have started this 2-3 years ago.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Do you do any what kind of trees do you have, Brandie?
I have pawpaw. I have 2 pawpaws, which I'm really hoping are the opposite sex, because you need the opposite sex for them to make fruit. So really hoping for that, because I don't know. And then I have 2 red buds. I've got a spice bush. I've got some choke cherry, which is not exactly a tree, but they'll get pretty big. I do have a mulberry tree, which is not native, but I really enjoy it. So we're going to be keeping that. A flowering dogwood. Is that it? I tried a white paper birch and killed that. So that was sad. But I tried, but I will keep trying other things, but hopefully those guys will stick around, and I've been protecting them. I really don't love like babying my plants, but I also don't love having them eaten by bunnies. So I have done a little bit of barriers over the winter. I did one barrier last year where it was far too short, and essentially like it just snowed enough so that like the bunnies could just sit on top and just nibble away. So that
the top.
so always learning there, but so all of those are very, very small. So yes, it will be many years before I see a pawpaw fruit.
It's okay. When you do, it'll be rewarding and exciting.
It will be very special.
And you'll have to come back and tell us all about it.
And do you have all of those in ground? So they're like in ground, or any of those containers at all?
I have, the only thing that's in a container is my tiny oak tree, which is this big. So I grew that from an acorn this year. I gave away a whole bunch because I really have no space or no business planting an oak tree. But with my Norway maple, I thought, well, it's probably going to go someday. They are known for being like temperamental, and they can fall. And so if there's any issues, it's kind of close to my house. So if that has to go, I'm gonna keep growing this little acorn and see how far I can go.
I just love the I love the variation in the trees as well too. You putting in
Pretty
different regular. Yeah. That's awesome.
There's a saying that says the person has figured out life when he plants trees under whose shade he will never sit.
Sit under. Yeah.
Yes.
Or something like that. And
That's
I love
awesome.
that. I always think about that. It's a great analogy for life and growing.
Yeah, it's such a good. That is such a great saying as well.
I mean,
too.
the future is all bigger than us, right? That's why we talk about pollinators, we talk about soil. It all falls under that scope, right?
I feel like this is one thing that you can do if you have any, like, people are worried sometimes about the climate, as I'm sure many of us are. And it's real climate action that you can do with your hands. You can prepare, you can think forward, you can think, can I plant something native that is going to be more resilient, maybe something that can handle drought, more extreme storms, that kind of stuff. And I just feel like it's really something that you can get your hands dirty and do something about,
it gives you a sense of control,
right? So very tangible.
Yes, it's really all we can do, right? We can sit online and keyboard warriors, but that's not going to change anything. We can get out in our own yards and plant and grow things and actually make a difference. I agree. That's great.
Yeah. That's another great thing about gardeners, though, too. We're action based, right? Get out there and do it. Get out and grow. Let's grow, right? Michael, do you grow any figs at all?
Funny you say that, because I have lots of friends here in the growing community that do, and they're obsessed. And I'm just kind of like, I kind of like figs, but
they are their own community.
They really are. They really are.
Yeah.
But then about a month ago, my wife said, "Hey, I really want a fig tree," and she knows if she ever suggests me getting a tree, like, I'm off the couch and gone. Find a tree. So I planted my first fig tree about a month ago.
Perfect.
I'm super excited for it.
Yeah, excellent. So Serena's just asking about how long a fig cutting's going to take from transplant to bear fruit. And we do have our good friend Kang Star.
There you go. I was just going to say that. Not long.
We can cut. They can bear fruit in about a year. I had one little cutting. It grew a couple little branches and gave me one little fruit on it.
Really?
In its first year once, and then I had another one that grew a little bit better. My Chicago figs probably have been the best, but they can fruit in about 1 year for sure. And it's going to get better year in, year out, depending on how you prune them as well too.
Yeah, and they're really fun to
probably
grab.
would. We should try that for sure.
Yeah, I should. I'm going to do coffee. I'm going to try pomegranate. Well, pomegranate's huge, but actually I'm going to try figs. I don't love figs, but just to say I tried it.
Yeah. They're good. I love. It's been one of my friends. I haven't gotten completely as obsessed as a lot of my fig friends out there and stuff, but I do probably have to say that out of some of the stuff that I've learned to grow since I started becoming a gardener, it's one of those ones that all I knew of was those Fig Newton cookies, right? Growing up. So I didn't know anything about the trees or the plants or anything until I started growing, and then I got to have one of my first figs out of John Kohler's front yard. And it was so delicious. I was like, man, this is great. I've got to have one of these. And that's when I immediately came back and started growing my first figs and everything too, because they are delicious. They're probably one of my favorite fruits, but easy to grow. Container trees. This kind of get back to what I was asking you about growing in containers and stuff too as well. And I'll kind of bring that to you, Michael, as well. Is that, there's a lot of types of trees that we can grow in containers around our small space properties and all of that as well too. Maybe you could suggest some other ones besides figs, which I say figs are definitely awesome as well, but maybe you suggest some other ones. I know a lot of them do because I've got
one that's popular here in the desert is the Bonanza dwarf peach. That one does great in containers.
Peaches are awesome.
Yeah, peaches are so.
I have a frost peach in a container out front.
Oh, okay. Yeah. You can do blueberries, Brandie. You mentioned those are tough. They really don't grow great here in our soil because we have very high pH. But you can grow those in containers where you can control the soil and the inputs, and it becomes a lot easier. So that's something that a lot of people like to use containers for.
Yeah. I recommend blueberries in containers over soil because of that.
Yep. I'm trying to think of others. Honestly, I have kind of moved away from growing not to discourage anybody, but just because here in Arizona it's so hot, like
Mhm.
in the middle of summer when it's out so quickly, and so you're having to just water and water and water so much, versus in ground you're not watering as much. So I've kind of moved away from containers and do mostly just flowers and whatnot in containers. Everything else goes in the ground.
I'm going to try container gardening for the first time this year outdoor, because my soil, I mean, I don't know anything about soil, but there's nothing, right? It's just from the builder. It's not like accumulated over time. It's not, I guess it needs a lot of amendments and it needs some work, right? So I'm going to try.
That's probably a great idea. Yeah, I have just garbage soil, and I've been trying to like treat it again, leave the leaves, all that kind of stuff, chop and drop. But still, I have these massive Norway maples and they just deplete the soil of nutrients. So much so that I grew black raspberries, native black raspberries. And I thought that they were like really small. I was like, look at how tiny they are. They're so cute. These are black raspberries, blah, blah, blah. And then I went to a friend's house who had them native growing naturally in their yard, and they're way bigger. And I'm like, okay, like it's just so obvious the difference. And like you'll see like all the books that I have where it shares like, you know, the expectation of the height and width and whatnot, like mine are stunted because of this, right? So I'm trying to in the soil, but yeah, living in suburbia, like we did a new fence and they pulled out all sorts of just garbage in the soil, you know, like
it's well, you know, we've got just gravel, like we've got maybe a foot of soil and then right underneath, or dirt, I don't even know if you want to call it soil, and whatever, it's, I guess it's the same and then gravel underneath, and it just there's nothing, right? So I had to add for my flower garden a retaining wall just so that I can continuously build and add layers, because there's nothing to work with.
Here's my suggestion to both of you. Find a native ground cover and try to grow that first. Just start with that, right? And even allow weeds.
Yeah.
And you said it, right? Allow weeds to grow as well in that soil, because that's what weeds are there for, and that's what native ground cover is there for, is to slowly rejuvenate and regenerate the soil.
Yeah, that is really good advice. And, you know, funny enough, even my ground covers are like, why? But yeah, keep on going. But
yeah, even the weeds want to die.
Yeah, it's true.
Oh, that's not good.
Yeah.
Yeah, unfortunately, that's kind of what happens sometimes in suburbia. It's hard to, you know, it's hard to control.
Yeah, and definitely again to a good amount of work, especially if you're, you know, suburban home tracks that are being built on these, you know, lots of rocks and rocky stuff that's right up underneath of whatever that is. So again, some raised beds to get you going and all of that, you know, for sure, as you can do that. But then again, doing something, you know, depending on how far deep, maybe dig something out or whatever, give yourself a good base and then fill it in and keep filling on and keep letting it go for a couple of years to really build something up. I had really terrible stuff that was out on the side of mine. I could barely dig down before getting into this kind of sandy, rocky stuff or whatever, you know, just a little bit. But I spent years just piling stuff on, and I can go down in there. It's a little sandier, but man, it's really dark and black and nice, you know, even a couple of feet down now versus, you know, just only being about 6 to 8 inches before. So it can be built. It's just, you got to pile it on and let it go for probably a few years in that type of situation. That's why you build up the raised beds to get you going and then set up those other ones as well.
It's patience.
Patience again, yes, patience.
What got you into soil, like focusing specifically on soil? Well,
I think because, and sorry if I already said this, our soil is so bad here in the desert and it's so tough. And so there were other people around the valley that said, hey, you should do compost and all this other stuff. So, and as I did that, I started realizing, oh yes, you actually can change the actual soil that's underneath. And I won't go down this rabbit hole now, but if you Google and watch on YouTube terra preta, it means black earth from the Amazon. Look that up. That is crazy. And so I just love the fact that you can change the actual makeup of the soil by yourself with time, and it allows you to grow so many more things that normally you wouldn't be able to grow.
Yeah. Terra Preta came up in our conversation. We had a couple months ago with Kelpie Wilson, who is kind of like the queen of biochar, if you would say, and all of that. And she did some stuff. And I thought that was just so interesting, the Terra Preta and how they were developing and building soil. We're talking about ancient civilizations, it's really cool.
They say essentially now that they have LiDAR technology, lasers to go and look at everything, anywhere where there were civilizations 2,000 years ago in the Amazon rainforest, it was all man-made built soil that they brought in and that they composted and that they created themselves. Because if you know about the Amazon rainforest, the soil is actually very bad because it rains so much and the nutrients are just depleted. They just wash away, right? And so there's no way that you could have supported that many people living there unless you did something to the soil. And they did something to the soil, and they say now the Amazon rainforest is like the largest man-made forest. There you go.
Largest man-made forest. I love it.
Yep. It's a crazy rabbit hole to go down, but super interesting.
For sure.
Yeah, sure is. Have you ever grown a money tree?
I have not.
I don't know. Question money
People
tree.
grow it here.
I don't know. Does anybody know how do you get it to start producing?
Keep it happy.
That's a question.
Yeah.
I haven't, so I don't
It's
know.
a
Maybe
loaded
someone in the
question.
chat
It
does.
depends.
Yeah.
Good soil.
All right,
That's the answer.
exactly.
I
Good
mentioned
soil.
something
Further
about
your
the
seeds.
container gardening.
Yeah, go ahead.
So
I love it.
the one concern that I have with container gardening is I can't put the containers anywhere in the winter. So I'm just concerned that they would get so cold because, again, thinking about perennial container gardens, right? Like if you want to have a container tree or container blueberries,
Right. Yeah.
then would they get too cold that they would get destroyed? Because I don't have an option of bringing them inside, putting them in a garage.
Do you have like a patio or something?
I mean, I could have them in like a garden shed, but they would still be the same temperature. Like they would still freeze, right? Like if
like
the snow
tarp
would
them?
insulate, right?
Yeah. Tarp them
Yeah.
with some type of insulation, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's what I would be saying. Get them
concern.
together, bunch them together, get them on a patio somewhere, put some tarps maybe up and around and in between and all that to kind of give them a little bit of insulation.
Put all the leaves around there.
Maybe get a cover over them if possible too. Could help out and hold in some warmth inside the cover or something. I have like an over-covered patio area, which helps a little bit if you had that sort of situation. But yeah, clustering them together is probably the best bet for sure. Definitely.
Yep. And I was going to say, I used it one year. They have, like those pop-up tents that you would like bring to the beach or the park that just pop up real easily and they fold down. They have those as greenhouses. So it's the exact same structure and it's small. And then you just put the whatever material over. So you can put that up in the winter and then take it down.
Or even like a hoop house with the plastic cover or something like that.
Yep.
Throw a little heater in there.
Little heater or a suggestion to have seen before is you take a big large container of like some water, right? Get yourself one of those fish heaters, stick that in there, and as long as you have that warm water and that water staying warm in there, it'll keep the surroundings nice and warm as well too. So you don't have to have like the full-blown heater in there,
Yeah, interesting. Well, thank you.
Yeah.
So on the climate topic, because it's so warm, now this might sound like a stupid question, but because of the warm climate, dry climate in Arizona, you guys don't have winters. What happens with your pepper plants? I'm assuming you grow peppers, right?
Yes.
So do you have to overwinter? Like, how does that work? Do they keep
a lot of people do, but I'm huge on microclimates and growing things in the right microclimate to make as little work as possible for me. I have peppers in ground that have been there for 3 years now. A lot of people come, wintertime, they'll take them out, plant something else, and then replant in the spring. But I didn't do that. And if you go outside right now, you would see hundreds of peppers on my pepper plant, and they look just fine. And they grow year round like that.
Perennials. They can be perennials. That's for sure.
Yep. And they just keep getting bigger and bigger and producing more and more. And I don't really have to do anything with them. The biggest problem is finding out who I'm going to give all the peppers away to.
Yeah, I thought that Robbins Anaheim looks great, but some of those folks I've seen who've got the like perennial pepper grows in more southern states like that, I've seen them like big as trees. Like, just
those
huge
the
pepper
trunks get
plants.
thick. Like
Well, I've always wondered that because, you know, with my indoor garden, it's always summertime in year. So I've always wondered, should I overwinter my pepper plants? Should I see how long I can keep them? I never really decided how to approach it. So
now
that's
you should just go for it.
Yeah, just see how big it can get.
Yeah, and then I would be careful though. Bring as far as like growing something outdoors and then bring it in to overwinter. Take some strategies to make sure those plants are clean and all that sort of stuff.
I would never bring outdoor, indoor. I don't mix the two.
I
made
wouldn't
that
either.
mistake.
Anybody else
before.
anybody else thinking about that stuff too? Because like I bring like I've got a couple of my little container citruses that I'm trying again. So I got kind of young ones in some containers. So I bring them into the other room of the house. I've got a whole other room. And they'll sit there for, in there until they got to go back outside the next time. But you got to keep them away from everything else for sure.
Yeah.
When you're bringing things inside.
Yeah, I don't
extra visitors in the house.
Which
I'm not a fan of. I love the critters, but not in the house.
Yeah, you see all this. I've had this all devastated before many years ago.
Yeah.
by bringing things in.
Yeah, that's what happened with me. I brought outdoor strawberries inside to try growing in my vertical garden, and I brought thrips in, which are horrible indoor pests. And it just my first time growing my plants. It was my first, like within the first 6 months, I had to get rid of everything.
Oh no!
I got rid of everything in my house too with thrips because you can't like. The maintenance for like the destruction of the little creatures is just too much.
Not worth it. Prevention is better than
painting chemicals. Like I had no interest in any of that. I have children in the house, and
no, it's not worth spraying. Just get rid of it.
Looks like I'll let those go back to Mother Earth and get all new plants.
Serves me right for growing indoors.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Excellent. Here real quick though, let's ask you guys, what are some of your plans or anything new you guys have coming up as you're thinking about 2026 here as we're, as the year's just really kicking in here, spring's just right around the corner. Brandie, are there any things you're really looking forward to maybe adding to your garden, something new, anything going on as far as the garden this year you're excited about?
I know I'm always putting more things in the garden, and I've gotten probably over like again, I do not have a large space. I don't know how to translate this into acreage, but I feel like it's like a quarter acre, kind of something like not very big at all. And I probably have over 80 different kinds of native plants. So I'm really trying to focus on letting things grow and get established, but I can't stop planting them. So I definitely will be planting more. I'll definitely be looking for some of those ground covers. I have a lot of part shade, so I'll be trying more woodland plants, getting some violets. I actually had a just devastation of my wild blue lupin this past year due to aphids because I let them be. I was like, you guys will be eaten by somebody, and then nobody came around. So they annihilated my wild blue lupins, so I'll be replacing those, and just letting things kind of get more established in native plant gardening, and I think kind of perennial gardening. You hear of like sleep, creep, leap. So the first year you plant them, nothing really happens. The garden probably looks a little sad, and then they kind of creep in the next year, and then they kind of leap. So I've got all different stages in my plants, and I'm hoping for a lot of leaping this year.
Lots of leaping. I love it.
Yeah,
excellent.
Exciting.
Yes.
What about you, Michael? Any plans for this coming year?
Yeah, I feel like Enoch has asked me this every time I've been on the show, and my answer is probably the same because I'm obsessed with mangoes. Every year I mail order mangoes from Florida, and they ship me mangoes, like a dozen mangoes every week. And my favorite part is not just eating them, though eating them is awesome, but I take the seeds and I plant them. And so at this point I have, I don't know, probably 20 seedlings now that are probably, 3-4 feet tall, probably more than 3 feet tall. And
Wow.
I'm really curious to see the growth that they can push as we go into spring and things warm up. I'm hoping to get them all with a lot of growth so that hopefully now 2 to 3 years from now, I have lots of mangoes on all of those seedlings.
Yeah, you're gonna have a mango orchard. That's wonderful.
That's the goal. That's why I need more
Wow.
space.
Yeah, very exciting.
Yeah, and you know, I'm gonna say mangoes are like one of those. I would have to say is probably one of those fruits that just has such a diversity between varieties in
Yes.
flavor and taste. When
Yes.
it comes down to it, you know, like oranges, there's you think about different things. There's variations to some degree, but mangoes, I mean, literally, it's almost like eating different ones almost every time. Right?
Night and day. It really,
Yeah.
it probably is the most diverse in terms of tasting because you have mangoes from all over different parts of the world. Some people eat them green, some people eat them ripe. So you can
What's
get a
your
whole different
favorite?
flavor. My favorite is probably the sweet tart variety,
Sweet
which
tart.
tastes like it sounds.
Yeah.
And then my second favorite is probably Kent. I like the sweeter type of mangoes, but I'll eat any mango. I tell people if you've only ever had a store-bought mango, you've never had a real mango. You have to have a mango right off of a tree, and it'll blow you
A
away.
dream.
Mm.
Yeah, I've never experienced that, so I guess I've never had a mango.
You
And
need to
that-
mail order. Give me your address. I'm gonna send you.
All right.
Can you get them across the border into Canada?
Yeah.
Maybe
I think
we'll
you
try.
can. I think it's about getting stuff from Canada into the States that's
Right.
tricky, but
Right.
vice versa shouldn't be a problem. So, yeah, Brandie and I will be waiting for our
Yeah, we'll
mail
put in our
mangoes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You got it.
I love mangoes. I think that sounds like a dream, really.
You know
My
what?
goodness.
I've
Mhm.
recently just started liking mango. I never liked it growing up, and recently I just started to actually appreciate it. It's just very sweet.
Yeah.
Gotta
Yeah.
get used to it.
Yeah, for me though, I had again, this comes back to this difference in flavor and variety and taste. Is that the first mango I ever had? I was just like, oh, I'm not sure I like that very much. But then I went and tried some other different varieties. This person I went to visit had like 3-4 different varieties they had grown, and I tried this other. I was like, this is not what I remembered. And I was like, no, this is actually really good, you know. So yeah. Absolutely. Right on, guys. Well, you know, this has just been really, really awesome. Time has flied by already on us. I can't believe we're already here at this point of the conversation, but it's been so wonderful talking to you two tonight and have you a part of our, you know, the start of the green room here on Monday night. And before we do let you go, though, too, we do want to give you all a chance here to be able to kind of let us know where you are, what you're growing, all that sort of stuff, so people can find you. And again, everybody, I will let you know you can find links down below in the description. There's a little hint for you. But Brandie, tell us a little bit more about what you got growing on and where people can find you before we go.
Sure, thank you. Yeah, so I'm the Suburban Gardenista, and you can find me on YouTube and Instagram. And yeah, I put a video out about once a month. I'm not just packing out the content, but that's what you can expect from me, and a little bit more like chatter in the Instagram world. And I'm going to be focusing, surprise, surprise, a little bit more on native plant gardening. I've done a lot of the techniques, and that seems to get attention. I get people locked in with the techniques, and then I'm going to hammer more native plant content. So that's what you can expect from me. So hope to see you there.
That and more garden trivia on Saturdays on Let's Get Growing, right?
You got it.
There you go.
And what about yourself, Michael? Where can everybody find you and connect?
Yeah, so on YouTube, The Garden Nerd, you'll see my face there. And then on Instagram, The Garden Nerd as well. And then thegardennerd.org is my website, but that's more to advertise my soil feeding and fertilizing program and consulting and everything. But really, if you follow me, you know, my whole goal is just to get you excited about growing. I want to get people out there, no matter where you're at, what you're growing, how big, how small, even if it's one little house plant, I want to get you excited about growing something.
Even if it's not in soil?
Even that.
Just kidding.
That's great.
Growing anything.
I'm sorry,
That's
I'm
right.
sorry.
That's right. That's right. I love it. Excellent. 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 Again, you two, it's just really wonderful to have spent the evening with you and to get to learn more about what you've got growing on and all of that as well, too. So again, thank you for being here tonight.
Yeah, thank
Absolutely.
you so much for joining us.
Thank you, guys. Good to meet you, Brandie.
Good to meet you. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was lovely to meet you both.
And we'll get you back on, though, too. We're going to be doing this all throughout the year. So we'll look forward to some more conversations with you guys as well down the road.
Absolutely.
All right. Thank you, guys.
Take
Bye.
care.
Happy gardening.
Hey gardeners, thanks for tuning in to our show today. We'll be right back at it here in just a moment. I just wanted to take a second here to highlight our regular videos and features here on the Urban Gardener channel. Our weekly garden journals, and our incredible featured visits. All right, Natalie. How about that? What a great night tonight. I think we really had a great show. This really felt good. I loved it. It was awesome.
Yeah, it was an awesome conversation. And first of all, so nice to chat with somebody semi-local, right, within the same province, which was pretty cool. And then to get to pick Michael's brain and, you know, totally different world of gardening he's got going on. So that was awesome. I really enjoyed the conversation.
Yeah, we got to dig into talking about pollinators, which Brandie's just really knowledgeable about and everything, and then getting to talk with Michael about soil and all of that stuff. And again, too, I love that his experience he's had with the news stations and all that sort of stuff. Is just a really great overall conversation tonight.
Yeah, growing in more ways than just in the garden, which I love. That's what it's all about.
That's right. Awesome. Well,
Yeah,
again,
so what do you got coming up this week?
Yeah. This week we've got some great things coming up here. We're still marching along right here on the Let's Get Growing show for sure. So we got lots and lots of awesome conversations still to be had here next Saturday on the show, on the Let's Get Growing show. We are going to have with us, we're going to have a return guest. We're going to have Gary Pilarczyk from the Rusted Garden with us. And also, I do believe we're going to have our sponsor, Ivy Organic. We're working on getting him on with us as well, too, to talk a little bit more about the free giveaways on their fruit scions and plants and all that sort of stuff as well. So that's what we're going to do on Saturday. Have you ever seen the Rusted Garden before on YouTube?
I have not. I'm going to have to go check him out.
Yeah, Gary's one of those old school originals. I mean, when I first started gardening and I first started learning how to do things, and this was probably back 08, 09, right around there, maybe 9, 10 is probably what it was. And that's when I first started looking at and finding Gary and a few other growers too. But he's one of those real original YouTube gardeners.
Nice. Yeah, I always love coming across new gardeners, original gardeners, people who have been around in the game for a long time. Always something to learn from anybody in this space. So yeah, I'll have to tune in. I'm looking forward to that on Saturday.
Yeah. And we also, again, we're a 3-day weekend around here too. So we also have our Sunday edition. Both the Saturday and Sunday shows are at 11 a.m. Pacific time, 2 p.m. Eastern for you there. And our Sunday edition, we're going to have Gardener Scott from the Gardener Scott channel. Scott Wilson's going to join us for his monthly appearance here on the show. He comes around every second Sunday of the month to answer all of our gardening questions. Gardener Scott's a master gardener. He's literally one of those go-to guys. If I got a question, I'm going to ask him. I'll send him emails like, hey, let me know about this. What do I do? And he's always there to help me. So it's awesome to have him on our show with us to be able to answer all the viewer questions.
Yeah, how exciting. I've tuned into several of his lives and his YouTube videos, and yeah, he's got lots of information, lots of good stuff to learn. So great stuff. Exciting stuff coming up next week.
Yeah, he does his lives actually Monday mornings. So he does them early Monday mornings. And if folks want to as well, we got the J-Bot, our producer and all that, and facilitator in the chat. She was actually his guest on last Monday's live stream that Gardener Scott did. So if anybody wants to meet Jay and find out a little bit more about her, you can go back and check that out as well. But again, 3-day weekend next Monday, Natalie. We're back at it again, me and you right here on the Green Room. We're going to be back here with, we've got Andre the Farmer, and gardening with Gray with us next week on the Green Room.
It's gonna be a
Couple
good
of
one.
other
I'm
great
excited.
gardeners I can't wait to introduce you to. These guys are really awesome. They're more southern gardeners too for us. I think Andre's over in Florida, and Gray's over in Texas. So we'll get
Can't wait. It's gonna be awesome.
Yeah. So lots and lots of great things going on here on the Let's Get Growing show. What about you, Natalie, over on the Fresh Princess? I mean, what do you got going on coming up here this week for everyone joining you over there?
Got a big week coming up. I'm doing a giveaway, which I'm going to be announcing coming the end of the week. So stay tuned for that. It's going to be a good one. And just, regular work in the garden. Got some new plants and stuff, new seeds to start. So, just working away, same as usual, just growing.
Just growing and growing. We're just keep on at it, right?
It's going to be a good giveaway. So if you guys are interested, I will keep you informed, but going to be announcing that end of this week.
Awesome. And again, too, if you haven't gone to Natalie's channel, The Fresh Princess, yet as well, there's something down below in the description. There's some sort page top going on as well for everybody else. So definitely go over there, go subscribe to The Fresh Princess. So watch your daily live streams. I mean, this girl does it every day. Every day. I do it 3 days a week. She's on it every day.
Yeah, sometimes twice a day. Depends.
Yeah, it depends.
If I got extra work to do, then I have 2 live streams. So.
Excellent, everybody. Again, thank you all so much for being here with us today. Again, just another really great show for us here. And really, after last week's show too, Natalie, it was a little bumpy.
I thought it was great.
It was
You know
great.
what?
It was.
I think that it's nice when it's endearing when we're just trying to figure it out, and it humanizes us. We're not like on primetime TV, so it's cool.
Exactly.
We just have fun with it.
This ain't a big studio production here.
Maybe one day it will be, but we just have fun with it, and it's all good. It's what I thought last week couldn't have gone better. I think we both did an awesome job, and we did an even better job this week. And I was off to a little rocky start, but that's okay. That's what it's all about.
Yeah,
Show
you did awesome. You did awesome. I'm loving this so far. I'm thinking we got a great thing going on here on the Green Room.
Absolutely.
I hope all of you out there are joining that and seeing that too, and really enjoying these conversations. Like I said, we've got a lot more for you coming up. We're booking folks left and right now for future shows. So definitely make sure you're subscribing and following along with us here on the Urban Gardener channel and the Fresh Princess. Definitely follow all the links down below in the description. And again, everybody, thank you all so much for being here with us. It's, again, another great night.
Yeah, what a great time, and appreciate everyone that came out to spend their time and tune in and be a part of the conversation and have your questions. Appreciate you all. Thank you so much.
Yeah, really wonderful. And again, everybody, we'll see you all coming up this next Saturday for another 3-day weekend here on the Let's Get Growing show. And we'll see all of you then.
Power out.